Hello, and welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play video with me, Elven Dragon, here on Shamblecraft. So last episode we went and built up this wonderful little room right here that houses our enchanting setup, as well as a bunch of different animals, including several fish, some axolotls, and several pandas. But today I think we are going to be getting into something a little different, because we have quite a few unfinished projects around the base, including, where is it? Ah, yes, this tunnel here. Including but not limited to this bulk storage system that we desperately need because we have way too much stone. Some of these chests have stone in them, apparently. Supposedly Space, there we go. There's some of it. Space decided to move that out of the main way. We need to actually patch this wall. And we also need to finish the tree farm, or rather a tree farm, that we started digging out. Space decided to put a redstone wall, so I think our first thing to do is probably to texture that. But this tree farm is going to be used for getting all of the wood and all of the leaves that we need to build our custom trees for our shop, which last I checked still has no sales, but it is what it is. I think the first thing that we're going to do is work on this back wall here. Now we have the farm pretty much already in. I do need to add a way to get up to it, or rather down, because that line of amethyst right there, or rather, that cutout right there is where our lowest floor is right now. Now, we do, in theory, have another floor somewhere around here, I believe, that should be put in, but we ran into a problem where the staircase would have to go through a geode, so I may have to play with that as well. But what I'm thinking for the wall is, instead of this pure solid wall of redstone with a few redstone lamps in it, we're going to mix in a few other red blocks. So I've got some red nether wart, some red terracotta, red nether bricks, concrete powder, black glazed terracotta because that's got some red in it, some red terracotta, or red glazed terracotta rather, and we can always turn some of our concrete powder into regular concrete. So I think I'm going to work on something in these bottom 4 rows here and try and kind of establish a pattern of some sort, or just get an idea of what we want to do. This tunnel here leads us to our new pseudo base members area. So we're going to have to figure out some way around that. Probably go through here and just kind of connect that up that way, because this area down here is going to be flooded with water that's going to push them all to the center here. Or rather, push all of the saplings, wood, and leaves into the center for easy collection and retrieval. So, I guess I'm going to go get this wall started to be decorated, and then I will be right back. And there we go. We now have the wall all the way in, as well as a floor here, courtesy of Space, who decided that while we were working on the wall, that they were going to put in the floor, which I think looks absolutely wonderful. I have been testing this thing out a bit, and it works quite well. And I know that I said that we would just test out the wall pattern, but I got a little carried away. So any leaves that we don't pick up, the farm does, which is super useful. Now, it'll work a little better once I get the rest of the walls in, so we don't have stuff falling onto the outside. But all in all, it is working great, and I am quite happy with how that wall there turned out. Now, as you can see, it works for pretty much all the tree types, including all the mushrooms, which is very useful because we are, or at least we were, running very low on red mushroom blocks after that wall, but we can easily go get more. I do need to work on my jumping between the different things of chains. Either that, or I need to put something in here to make it easier to jump across. Although I'm a little hesitant to do that because anything I add in has a hitbox, and that means that it can, in theory, block some leaves from falling down, which means that I will have to go and collect them by walking around, which to be honest, isn't going to be that bad because they should be right near where I'm harvesting anyway. But as is, they all get pushed down into here. What did space do underneath there? It looks like some sort of terracotta. Can't really tell. But as you can see, all of the leaves that we just mined all went into these two chests, which makes it very nice to collect them. And because we have depth strata, we can easily get out of the water collection pool. And it means I don't have to worry about leaves despawning while I'm gathering from all the trees. Now, I do probably need to make an access point down here. That way I'm not having to constantly go up and down a long staircase every time I want to get down here. And I don't think that jungle tree can grow. So I may have to clear out some stuff around it before that will grow up. I think another floor or two should bring us down to this point. The only issue is I need to figure out how to connect those in with the rest of the floors, because the current staircase is blocked by a geode. And I don't really feel like covering up some parts of the geode just to stick the staircase through, which the floor above it actually goes through the geode, or rather right above it, since we've taken out all of the amethyst blocks and the calcite. It actually makes for a fairly nice look for the animal floor, even if it is a pain to figure out how the staircase needs to go. I think I just need to have it go the other way, so it's not just you're always turning right. I think for this floor I have to shift it to turn left, and that should make it work. But I still have to figure out how, where, etc. I want to do that. It should be interesting. I also want to put stuff on those floors, but I need to figure out what we're doing because we are pretty much out of farms to put in the space, at least that I can think of. I do like how this works for mushrooms. It is quite nice. So I don't really just want to have empty floors. We may just put something decorative on them, I guess. We do have some housekeeping stuff, and we do want to put in a bunch of other rooms, so I guess that's what those floors can be used for. I'll probably have to ask if Space and Vin have any plans or ideas that we could do. But all in all, I am quite happy with how this has turned out. This also is quite nice for chopping the trees because I'm not having to go collect all the wood or the leaves. It will collect it for me. And the best part is I don't have to worry about all of the mobs sneaking up on me. So this will help quite a bit. And as you can see, it is functional for growing the taller trees. So we're going to have access points on the higher floors, just so we can glide down to the tops of those trees so we can get the leaves and saplings gathered. And also because the taller trees are much easier to chop down from above rather than having to chop up from the bottom. But I think that short of getting the rest of the walls in, this area here is more or less done. So I do need to have space help with the rest of the walls. Apparently we still have an access point here for some reason when we had a villager in there, and apparently we never fully cleaned it up. But that's something I think that we will deal with later. Let's just patch the wall here with the pieces that we have. Anyway, we do still need to get that wall in. Front wall here is going to go right along here, so we do need another way up. I'm thinking, well, if the tree farm wasn't right up against the nether tree farm here, I'd say that we could probably just put a bubble elevator all the way up from the bottom. But unfortunately, we don't exactly have the space to do that. So I might see what I can do. We can't really put it on this side because the lava farm is there on the top floor. So we may have to discuss with Space and Vin about what we're doing for that, which we should probably actually get a meeting room in here at some point so we actually have a place to conduct our meetings. But let's actually take a look up at the top floor for where we could potentially put a bubble column. That might be helpful because I know we don't exactly have very much space, but I think we have a little bit. I know there should be nothing after the tree farm because that just goes into the lava tunnel. So let's see. There is where the farm is. And what might happen is we have a little bit of this space over here that we used for getting up and down from the tree farm. We should probably have a quick up and down to the tunnel that leads to over where gas area is, which I think that tunnel will also be used for getting to the mob farm and such, but none of that has been decided yet. But I think that is great. Quite happy with this. It works well, and all that remains is to actually get the rest of it in. But looking over here, I think we could probably sneak a little doorway in, maybe even on either side of the wall here, that we could just use as quick travel up and down from the lower floors, which would be very helpful. I have kind of set this area aside. What, a villager? Oh yeah, I forgot. There's a villager over here. Hello, sir. You've only been traded with the once. Just so I can lock you in. But we now have a cartographer as our receptionist. I don't know why I decided to go for that, but probably because we don't have one. And yeah, I thought it was kind of funny, because we really don't need a cartographer. They don't really sell anything that we actually need, because the maps are kind of useless because all the woodland mansions are too far out. And I'm pretty sure we already know about all of the ocean monuments in this area. Several of them have already been raided. We do have one claimed that we plan to build a farm at some point. Anyway, now where was I? Oh yes, I was talking about this small space here that we need to figure out what we're doing with at some point, which I might turn into some sort of cabinet or something maybe. How much space do we have here before we hit the wall? I'm going to guess only a couple blocks, but it'll be good to know exactly. Oh, there it is. Let's get that put back. So it looks like it is only about 2 blocks. So let's get that wall filled in as best we can. And that way we can more easily fill that in later. Now again, I don't know what I'm doing with this area. I suppose location-wise, a small security booth might make sense. Ooh, copper. I do want some of that. We don't really have any need for it right now, but I do want it in case I decide to build with it at some point. But I think that I am going to go figure out what I want to do with this room here real quick, or at least get some basic decorations in, and then I will be right back. Alright, so I've done a little bit of decoration to this place, mostly just adding in a couch and some bookshelves and this little scaffolding table. What I think we're going to use this room for is kind of a little writing area, or rather just kind of an office sort of space. I think we'll put a desk right here. We'll have a lectern for us to write on, in a warped stair chair, because we can actually sit at this and look like we're working at the lectern. Then we need some spruce stairs for the actual desk here. I think we'll do flower pots, and I like to have plants, so we'll do some bamboo and some cactus. Now, since the desk is here, I think we aren't going to want a door here, so let's block that off. And we are going to have to remove that. So I guess we'll put the door here, which a spruce door will look fine right there, where it can blend in with the trap door a bit. And I think we'll put a flower pot on there like it's some sort of mug for this couch. Now we do need some sort of light, so I think we'll just make a small little lamppost here using 2 end rods and a lantern. And I think that looks pretty good. We might need to get some banners to serve as a lampshade, which we just make a couple teal banners so we can easily just test out how that will look. I think that should look okay. Look at this. Let's try. When I hang those on the lanterns, not on sides, and obviously we can't put one against the wall because, well, it's the wall. So that does look kind of funny, but I suppose it'll do. Maybe I'll put some sort of trap door or something, or we'll switch that out. I do kind of want to have the lantern, but we'll take those out for now. I think it looks fine without them. Now I do want to put a candle. I guess we can put a candle there, just for a more specific light source, I guess. We aren't going to light it. I just wanted to use candles somewhere in here. And we'll have this just be a nice big window so we can look out over the tree farm, over at the lava farm, and down the hall. But I think that with that just about wraps up everything. We might put a painting over there. That wall's looking a little blank. But other than that, I think that is going to be it for today. So, thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing, and I will catch you all in the next one. Goodbye.